What is up, guys? I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're covering some more r/mi the butthole. If you'd like to skip the initial waffle, timestamps are in the description and along the timeline below. But if you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe and maybe that notification bell too, as it all really helps out our channel. And a huge thank you to 3 new members yesterday. What is going on? We have Arnita Xavier, Sammy Worth and Spark LE. Thank you very much for joining us yesterday, and to everyone for being here. Taking the time out your day to sit there and listen to me is just absolutely insane to me, and every day I'm just so thankful for your support. Thank you so much. And with that being said, let's get in to today's stories. Much love, guys. And our first story comes from a throwaway account. Am I the arsehole for not taking care of my disabled daughter? Throwaway account. Also, please excuse my English, I'm not a native speaker. Some background info. I, 41 male, have a disabled daughter, Molly, 11 female, with my ex-girlfriend Sarah, 37 female. This all started 12 years ago. Me and Sarah were together for about 4 years, and we were trying to have a baby. After a couple of weeks of trying, she got pregnant, and we were super excited. Unfortunately, in her 4th month, doctors told us that our baby is severely disabled and advised us to get an abortion. It was very hard on us. We started arguing a lot because Sarah wanted to keep the baby and I didn't. I said I don't want to spend time my whole life taking care of a child and throw everything away. But Sarah didn't want to kill the baby. We argued about this every day. Eventually it became too much and we broke up. We still kept in contact with each other as friends. A couple of months later, she went into labour. I came into hospital with her to support her. As the doctors said Molly was born severely disabled, they kept her in hospital for a couple of weeks and then gave her to Sarah. She took her to her house and I visited them a couple of times. Within the next months I got a job offer and moved away to another city. Me and Sarah are still in contact. I send them money every month, but we meet each other very rarely, about once in 2 years. So now Molly is 11 years old. She's bound to a wheelchair and will never walk. She has a mind of a 3-year-old and can't speak. Sarah left everything to take care of her. She is at home with her 24/7 because Molly is unable to do anything on her own. They get state contributions since Sarah can't go to work and I send them money. I have a wife now and 2 daughters, 5 years old, and we lived about 4 hours drive away from Sarah. Sarah's called me last week saying it's too much on her. She said she does nothing else than take care of Molly and she is tired. She gave up on her career, hobbies, friends and everything. She asked me to start taking care of Molly as well. She asked if I could have her in my care at least 1 week every 2 months in the beginning, and after I know how to take care of her, then maybe more often. I talked about it with my wife and we both agreed we don't want to take care of Molly. I apologised to Sarah and instead I offered to pay her for a professional to take care of her or to pay some facility to take her in, but Sarah refused. She doesn't want a stranger to take care of Molly, nor put her away in a facility. I feel really bad for Sarah, but I have a responsibility to my 2 daughters and my wife now. I talked about it with my parents and they understand and don't blame me, but I feel like I might be the arsehole. Oh my word, wow, what a situation, and it's incredibly sad for everyone involved, I think. I think one of the main points in this story is that we don't know actually what Molly is suffering with, so, you know, it's kind of hard to judge on that situation. Because, you know, everyone's entitled to a happy life, and just because she might have a mind of a 3-year-old, it doesn't mean she's not happy at the same time, you know. I personally can't really make a judgment. I'm just going to say no one's the arsehole here because I just think it's so sad for the ex-wife, the husband, the daughter. It's just an incredibly messed up situation. I think the ex-wife would benefit from some outside help, maybe just to give her some free time every once in a while. I think that might clear her mindset a little bit more, but that is just my opinion, and we're going to go to the comments below to see what we can find. Itchy Bottom B says, not the arsehole, you offer to pay for a solution, which is very generous. I hate to say it, but this is what she signed up for when she decided to continue the pregnancy. Loudant 2 says, look, no judgment, but in-home care of Molly is not sustainable long run. Eventually you and her mum will not be around / capable, so you need to find her a good home where she can be cared for and live her best life. The good ones have long waiting lists, so you should be looking into those now. Honestly, Molly's mother should have been looking into them before she reached her breaking point. Just Bored says, not the arsehole, everyone has the right to choose. You made it clear your choice on this pregnancy. She decided to do this, not you. I'm sorry, I think it's so morally wrong to have babies you will know will only ever suffer. And Red Max replies to saying, "You don't know that Molly's suffering. If she's getting good care, and especially if Sarah accepts the inevitable and finds her a place in a good care home, Molly can live a very fulfilling and happy life in her own way. Don't dismiss the disabled just because their lives don't meet your own expectations of what happiness and suffering look like." And that is what I was kind of trying to say at the start. I think, just because she's disabled, just because she might have the mind of a 3-year-old or whatever, it doesn't mean she's not enjoying her life. And let's hope she really is, and people find a solution to this in the end. Now, I'm going to turn it to you guys. What do you guys think of this story? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote on that poll in the description for story 1. And our next story is from a throwaway account. Am I the arsehole for leaving in an Uber after my engagement party? My fiance and I got engaged a week ago. It was an absolute disaster. I never wanted the party, but my fiance's mum insisted and wanted to have the engagement party at a restaurant that is expensive to me, and made my fiance pull money out of his savings account to buy a house just so she could show herself off to the family. She picked the restaurant of her choice, invited her whole family while I was only allowed to invite mum and dad. She didn't even order meals until later because she was arguing about how her favourites weren't on the menu. Lied to my parents about food and said in her invitation, "Join us in celebrating Jake and Sarah's engagement with desserts and champagne only." She said no kids, but still brought SIL's kids with her. She sat in the middle next to my fiance and they were both having a toast without me. I was feeling so uncomfortable and super pissed that I couldn't even hide it. My parents were the first to leave. They were upset. Can't blame them, it was awful. We were about to leave. My mother-in-law wanted us to give her a ride home because brother-in-law left with his cousin. My fiance said sure. Next thing I knew, she got into the passenger seat, SIL tagged along and stuffed their kids in the back where I was supposed to sit. I found this so damn inappropriate and humiliating. I asked my fiance if he was serious. I told him I belonged in the passenger seat, but mother-in-law said I was being disrespectful and refused to sit in the back, and threw some comments at me. I lost it, literally called an Uber and told them to go. My fiance lashed out and called me crazy and told me to get in the car because I was embarrassing him. We yelled at each other, he refused to leave. I got on my Uber as they watched and went to my parents. Cried my eyes out and refused to answer my phone. To spare myself the shaming, it was awful, awful, so awful that I regret not leaving early. I hate them all, they're treating me like trash and I've had it. I'm 24 and my fiance is 27. Edit to clarify that 1. She took some of our savings for a new house and spent it on the party. 2. She sat in the passenger seat and wanted me to sit in the back. My fiance took her side and said I was embarrassing him. Sounds like we got a bit of a mummy's boy on our hands. Oh dear, I can't say you're the arsehole in the situation. The way you was treated, the way the family's treating you. What I'd be curious to know is, was the family treating you like this up to this point? Like, do you go around their house and they treat you the same way, like not include you in things? Because that is absolutely insane. Your engagement party and you're not included. I mean, what the fuck is going on there? And if you didn't know about these things, I'm glad you're finding them out now before getting married and then finding out that, yeah, he prioritizes his family over you no matter the situation. No matter if you're right or wrong or what, he will prioritize his family over you. So I'm going with not the arsehole in this situation, but let's have a look at the comments below to see what we can find. Nut Michelle says, not the arsehole. Why would you marry someone who allows his family to treat you this way? Sounds like he's more interested in his relationship with his mother anyway. Lashad says, the party was for the love of your fiance's life. The problem, that person isn't you. Not the arsehole, obviously. You need to evaluate whether this is something you want to have governing your life going forward, because it will not stop. Your possibly future mother-in-law is making sure that you know your place in the hierarchy, and if she's the most important person at your engagement party, is not going to change. Unsightly Fuzz says, not the arsehole, and husband-to-be didn't back you up at all. Honey, it's not too late to change your mind. Wada Ep says, not the arsehole. It sounds like your fiance has a mama's boy complex, and please don't be one of those women who think marrying him will make him shape up and be better about compartmentalizing, God, is that a word, his relationship with his mother. Nope, she'll be the third person in your marriage. There's going to be a three-way marriage with you as the least priority. OP replies to this saying, I was actually that dumb to think that, but it's too much to handle. It got to the point where my parents were being treated poorly because of me allowing these people who think they're somehow superior and have the right to treat people as less. What I saw at the engagement party was, I'm so hurt, I can't even put those feelings into words. He hurt my feelings and continued to try and make me think I was overreacting. Now, I turn it to you guys. What do you guys think of this story? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote on that poll in the description for story 2. And our next story is from Toby Mill. Am I the arsehole for saying I don't like my future daughter-in-law? My son James, 23, has been dating Kelly, 22, for 3 years, and well, I don't like her. She has attitudes and views that conflict with mine, and we've clashed more than once. However, there is an effort on both our ends to be amicable, and I don't want to be one of those awful mother-in-laws you see in films and TV shows. Last week, we had a family gathering and James proposed. Kelly said yes, we congratulated them, clapped, I gave them both a kiss and a hug and wished them all the best. I tried my best to contain my disappointment, but I guess it must have not been enough. James talked to me about it the next day and I told him how I felt. That I don't like Kelly, I don't think she's going to be a good wife to him, and I don't see their marriage working. However, and I reinforced this more than 2 times, I would not do anything to oppose their marriage, nor would I ever be rude or unpleasant to her. I have no say in who he chooses and I have to accept it. I said that I truly hope I am wrong in my judgment, that they have a wonderful marriage and life together. James wasn't too happy with my honesty. When I talked with my best friend about this, she said it was awful of me to be honest and that I should have just smiled and lied. Am I the arsehole here? What I get about these stories is that, like, you don't know what their life is like outside of what they do in their own home, how strong their relationship is. So for you to say you don't like her, you know, okay, you don't like someone, that's your choice in life. But then to say that their marriage won't work out, you can't see it working directly to his face, you just told him his future is pretty much a waste. How dare you do that to someone? You've made them feel like absolute crap about getting married to someone and probably put questions in his head. Hopefully not, but yes, you are the arsehole in the situation. And we're going to go to the comments below to see what we can find. Judge Jed says, you're the arsehole. It's one thing to say, I don't like her. It's another thing to say, she won't be a good wife and your marriage won't last. Especially since you haven't given any evidence that she will be a bad wife or it won't last. Roti says, in quotes, she has attitudes and views that conflict with mine. Wait, you telling me your son wants to marry someone who is not you? He's actually getting married to someone different from you. Your son is making a decision which you disagree. Oh no, it's like you raised an autonomous person who knows what he wants and likes. Yeah, you're the arsehole, the kind that sits on the side waiting for everything to go down in flames and say, I told you so. Absolutely true. Lobster is Trash says, you couldn't contain your disappointment to the point that your son felt it necessary to talk to you about it the next day. I get the feeling you're leaving parts out of this story on purpose. And yes, you're the arsehole. Your job as a mother to an adult is to be supportive. He's grown and raised. Your opinions don't belong in his decisions anymore. You have to trust that you raised him well enough to make the right decisions for himself. Anything other than, I'm so happy for you and I hope you have a wonderful life together, is unnecessary. Now I turn it to you guys. What do you guys think of this story? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote on that poll in the description for story 3. And on the next story is from a throwaway account. Am I the arsehole for telling my wife that it's not realistic for her to go to university? My wife and I are both 19. We've known each other since kindergarten and have been dating for many years. We got married last year. Together we have 3-year-old twins, a girl and a boy. I joined the army 2 years ago. We are living in a subsidised housing on the base. My wife currently stays at home to take care of the kids and does freelance writing as well. She mainly writes children's books and she earns a small amount of income from the royalties. Before the worldwide pandemic, she also made income from flipping houses. My wife is very intelligent, she was always the top of her class, while I didn't do too well in school. Ultimately, she wants to get a bachelor's degree and pursue her dream of becoming a lawyer. I want to support her the best I can, but even if she attends a university near the base, it will still be difficult to juggle taking care of the kids and getting a degree. Plus, if she goes to university, she will have less time for writing, and then we'll have to rely on my income alone. She told me that she wants to study for an economics degree next year. I told her that it's not feasible and she should at least wait until our kids are in school, in 2 more years. She was quite upset and said I don't care about her dreams and that she can't be a housewife forever. I told her I'm not forcing her to be a housewife, it's just that the time is not right at the moment for her to pursue higher education. We all had to make sacrifices. I didn't want to join the military, but it was the best option for us because it meant my family can have a stable life and housing. Am I the arsehole here? Wow, this is a tough one to judge because obviously someone has a dream of getting higher education, and obviously you don't want to ruin that, but having responsibility of kids is also a huge undertaking to juggle that with finances, a house, all this kind of thing. It's got to be really, really difficult. So I can certainly understand the concerns from OP, like living on his wage alone. Is it possible? I think that is the idea here, is that you need to draw up a plan is what is really feasible. If she has a plan, let her write it up and come to you with it, I think, because then you can have a much clearer picture rather than just discussing and going, can I do this? Yes, no, who knows? You don't have a plan in place to do that at the moment. So I think that is the first step in having a look. And there's plenty of ways she can do it. She doesn't have to go off site to do it. I think you can do probably a lot of things from online these days. I'm not sure whether you can actually become a lawyer online, but I'm sure there must be cases of people being able to do that right now. Surely, right? Correct me if I'm wrong here. I might be just talking absolute rubbish. I'm probably going to go with a controversial here, not the arsehole, simply because I get this guy's concern. You know, he's not trying to ruin her dreams, and I think if everything was in place, he would be more than happy for her to chase her dream, you know. But at the moment, he's saying, like, just give us some time to sort things out, and then we can go from there. But let's go to the comments below to see what we can find. Just Peeping at You says, you're the arsehole. The CDC is a great program. Get on the waiting list for your kids and proceed from there. Your family is most likely eligible for a great deal of grant money too. Fill out FAF's SA, get on a CDC waiting list and find a community college, lower tuition, go from there. Military spouses do this all the time. She has subsidised housing, childcare and medical. This is actually the perfect time to go, as opposed to later, when those things are no longer in place. The CDC Child Development Centre is income based. It is deliberately designed so military families can afford to continue work and education without draining their paychecks. OP replies to this saying, we don't live in the United States. Mortimer5 says, you're the arsehole for saying no, instead of asking her to show you a plan of how it could work practically, both in terms of childcare and budget. August Sipped Away says, you're the arsehole, it is plenty feasible for her to pursue her degree. SC Upstate Reader says, no one's an arsehole here, I think. See if she can do online coursework for now, that way she can start a degree and not sacrifice childcare. Cut Queen 9938 says, you're the arsehole and she will regret wasting her time with you in 10 years. Ask me how I know. Now also to say, OP was replying to a lot of these people saying, yeah, that's a good idea for like get a plan in place and things like that as well. So, and I think that's personally a good idea, but I'm still going to stick with not the arsehole in this situation, just because I do understand his concerns. Put myself in his shoes, I think I do get that. But I personally wouldn't want to ruin her dreams either, and I would encourage her to chase them when the time is right. And I'm not saying years, I'm saying let's get a plan together and get it done. But what do you guys think of this story? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote on that poll in the description. And our next story is from Snoopairs 1994. Am I the arsehole for stealing my friend's baby name? Hi, first time Redditor, 26 female here. I'm American and my friend is Irish, 26 female. We met in college as she studied in the US. I consider her one of my closest and best friends. She was a bridesmaid when I got married. Years ago, my friend found out that she can't have kids naturally. It was a really difficult time for her, as she's always wanted kids. We have spoken together about our future kids being pen pals, but she says when she's ready for kids now, she will adopt. I found out I was pregnant this March, and we are so excited. My friend has been very supportive and happy for me, although COVID stopped her from being able to fly out for the baby shower and gender reveal. Last weekend, she asked me if she had thought of any baby names, and when I told her we already had chosen our son's name, she was extremely upset. We've chosen a traditional Irish name for him. She says that I know she wanted this name for her own son, which is true, but I thought now she was adopting, any child she has will come with her own name. We wanted to give our son this name, and ask her to be godmother, so she can have a child in her life with this name. She blew up. She said I was being cruel and should have asked her before deciding this. Well, I wanted to surprise her, so of course you can't ask someone or it will ruin the surprise. She said the name has precious meaning to her and her family, and we have no right to have this name as we are not Irish. But actually, my husband recently did one of those DNA tests, so we discovered that he's 18% Irish, and we think that's a nice way to connect with this part of us. Well, she laughed coldly. She said my husband and son are absolutely not Irish. I honestly was shocked, as I thought she would be really touched. As I said, she will not naturally be able to have children herself, so she can never use this name. When I tried to reason it out, she said she could adopt a baby that was unnamed, even though previously she has told me she has interest in adopting children, not babies. To me it was like she was grasping at straws, as she does not want us to use this name out of jealousy or resentment. She was really hurt I suggested those were her motivations, and ended the call with me, before she said something she would regret. Her words. She's not spoken to me or responded to my messages since. I don't want to change my son's name. Me and my husband are now very fond of this name, and my mum has even embroidered it on a lot of blankets and newborn clothing. My husband thinks I need to choose between this name or my friend, and it looks like in the future I can't have both. But it is not a name or my friend, it is my son's name or my friend's non-existent hypothetical son's name. I feel like she's punishing me for being able to have a son when she isn't able to. My husband suggested I ask a more neutral audience, Reddit. So, am I the asshole? Come on, man, how could you not know that was going to hurt your friend? So she can't have children. She already had a name in mind for if she was going to have children at some stage, and then you pick that name. Come on, that's got to be obvious that you're going to hurt someone. And then say like you wanted to use it because so she could be the godmother, so she has a child in her life that have that name. I mean, come on, man, that's like a kick in the nuts or wherever, really. I'm going with arsehole in this story, and I'm not changing my mind, but we're going to the comments below to see what we can find. Dax.com says, yikes, definitely you're the arsehole, very insensitive of you. The names you share with your best friend are off limits, end of story. No matter how the circumstances change. That's just being a loyal friend. Every time she has to interact with your child, she will instantly be reminded of how she cannot have a child. Infertility is incredibly heartbreaking and difficult to work through as it is, let alone being reminded of a child you can't have because your supposed friend named their child your child's name. If you really thought that was going to be a well-received surprise, you're quite out of touch with the incredible psychological burden that infertility can cause for women. You should change your name and apologise for not realising how cruel this action could be. There are so many good names out there, and it's not too late. Embroidery can be reworked. We changed our favourite name like 5 times before we decided on one. Unless you don't value your friendship, then do what you want. And I did look for a reply that might counter like you're the arsehole to a not the arsehole, like everyone sucks here or something like that. But there was just nothing. There was nothing. It was all you're the arseholes, and I think this was the best reply of the bunch. And I'm going to leave it on that one alone. Let me know what you guys think of this story. Would you be cross if you was in that woman's situation and someone used your name? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote on that poll in the description. Once again, guys, thank you for being here today. The time out your day is always appreciated here. Thank you for being here once again, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Much love.